Hello, what's up, and what's happening? Welcome back for yet another Miles Dawkins 24/7 production, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite team, San Francisco 49ers. Yesterday, Sunday, was the last game of the season for a lot of teams and for my favorite team, the 49ers. And it was also the last game for Jim Harbaugh on the sideline for the 49ers. Now, unfortunately, the team did not reach expectations. We only went 8-8 this season. And unfortunately, that was not good enough to make it to the playoffs. And unfortunately, wasn't good enough for Jim Harbaugh to keep his job. Before Jim Harbaugh got there, though, being a Niner fan my whole life, we've had some dark days, some dark years in between, really, George Seifert and Jim Harbaugh. Now, a lot of people say, well, he had Steve Mariucci, had some good years there. Yeah, we did have some good years there, but they weren't classic San Francisco 49ers years. Under Steve Mariucci, I believe we went to the NFC Championship game one time, lost to Green Bay in that game. And basically, that was really it. That was really it for Steve Mariucci. We had some other classic playoff games versus the Giants. But under Jim Harbaugh, we went to 3 straight NFC Championship games with the team that couldn't make the playoffs. You think about that, for like 10 to 11 years, the Niners missed the playoffs. The Niners didn't even have a winning record. He basically takes the same team that was coached by Mike Singletary and takes them to 3 straight NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl appearance. And, of course, Jim Harbaugh, he wanted to get compensated for what he's done. Unfortunately, the front office for the San Francisco 49ers, I guess they felt like, they can, put a great team together and win without a head coach. And a lot of people, on TV and stuff were saying Jim might want to be careful because, the grass is always green on the other side, at least we think it is. So him going to Michigan might not be the best thing for him, but everywhere Jim has been, he has been, a competitor. He has been a great coach, and he has turned programs around. He turned Stanford around. Stanford was garbage for the longest time. He got there, and Stanford goes to Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? And yes, they had Andrew Luck there and stuff like that. But Michigan is it is a prideful university, one of the most winningest, if not the winningest program in college football history. And Jim went there, of course. There was rumors that he might stay in the NFL. A lot of people were speculating that he'll go to Oakland because it's close by, where the 49ers play in Santa Clara and stuff like that. So they felt like if he's going to stay in the NFL, maybe Oakland would be a good fit. I thought that Chicago would be a better fit. He also played there. You know what I mean? I think he would have the best personality for a team like Chicago, but we don't even know if Trestman is going to be gone, at this point. But anyways, I'm sad to see him go. I really am. There's going to be a lot of turnover, I think, in the organization. Who knows if Crabtree's going to be back? Who knows if Frank Gore is going to be back? You know what I mean? The defense, even though Patrick Willis was gone for most of the year, Navarro Bowman was out for the whole season. Alden Smith was suspended for a long time. Just injuries up and down the 49ers rosters on the O-line. Still played pretty good football. Couldn't beat Seattle at all this season. We split the series with Arizona. We beat them on Sunday yesterday. And it sucks, though. It sucks. It really does suck. And again, I'm coming from a 49ers fan perspective. I'm hoping that this organization knows what they are doing, because there was so many question marks about 3 $100 million quarterbacks coming into the season that signed those big contracts coming in. That was Jay Cutler, that was Andy Dalton, and that was Colin Kaepernick. And Andy Dalton right now is the only quarterback on those teams that's heading to the playoffs yet again. Andy Dalton, every single year he's been in the league, his team has been in the playoffs. And it might be despite of him. Sometimes he doesn't, perform up to his ability. Sometimes, you could say that he won in situations, or the team won despite Andy Dalton, you know what I mean, at times. But nonetheless, ever since he's been in the league, he has been in the playoffs. And we can't say the same about Colin Kaepernick. We definitely can't say the same thing about Jay Cutler. I think both of those quarterbacks took a step back. I think the team offensively for the Giants, not for the Giants, excuse me, but for the Niners and for the Bears definitely had taken a step back. And I think that had a lot to do with Colin Kaepernick this year. Of course, Jim is the coach, so when the team doesn't succeed, he will be on the chopping block. But I just feel like for the 49ers organization, I really feel like they can go out there and try and win with a mediocre coach. Who knows who's going to be coaching the team? I guarantee you it's going to be it won't be a high-profile guy. It won't be a high-profile guy at all. You know what I mean? And it pains me because I love the San Francisco 49ers. Like, in the Bay Area, we're fortunate that the A's had a pretty good year. The Giants had a pretty good year. The Warriors are balling right now. But no team makes me excited or, breaks my heart more than the San Francisco 49ers. They won this game on an interception by our backup free safety, and me and my wife were jumping, you know, out of our shorts. You know what I mean? Like, we jumped off the couch, celebrating, hugging, all that good stuff, man. And we're now going to the playoffs, man. So this is my favorite team, favorite sport, you know, and I just hope that the 49ers front office knows what they're doing, because St. Louis really isn't that far off. St. Louis really isn't that far off from being a competitor in this division, in this conference, you know, in the whole league. They play tough defense. If they can just get some momentum on the offensive side of the ball, I think St. Louis could be a force to be reckoned with. We already know about Seattle, Arizona. All the teams in this division have strong defenses. They can flat out ball on the defensive side of the ball. So it really is going to come down to which quarterbacks can play the best in this division. And as of right now, Russell Wilson, he's the class of this division. Carson Palmer, he's going to be back next year. You know what I mean, for Arizona. St. Louis, who knows who's going to be their quarterback. Right now, Sean Hill's starting for him. He played awful versus Seattle on Sunday, this past Sunday. So this division, outside of Seattle, I still feel is wide open. Arizona is good, but their offense isn't that potent. You know what I mean? Again, they don't have Carson Palmer. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners can somehow, like, finish last next year. And it's crazy to say because the Niners defense is so good, but there's going to be question marks at running back. I love Carlos Hyde, but will Carlos Hyde really be, you know, that dominant running back if you don't bring Frank Gore back? We have good receivers, but we're still going to have Colin Kaepernick, and this passing offense was horrible. I believe he only scored 3 passing touchdowns the whole season, like in the second half. I don't believe he scored a single passing TD in the fourth quarter, you know, this whole season. So Jim might be gone, but to me, it's going to be the same team. And again, 10 to 11 years, almost 12 years without having a winning record, without making it to the playoffs. Jim comes in, 3 straight NFC Championship games. And for those 10 years, yeah, I might have had rooting interest for other teams like Philadelphia, you know, Brian Dawkins. What up, family? You know, but at the end of the day, it sucked. And I forgot what it felt like to be that deep every single year. You know what I mean? It's going to suck not having it this year, but I guess as a 49er fan, it gives me, you know, perspective of just how good of a coach Jim Harbaugh has been for the Niners. I wish him, you know, much success, you know, for his if he does go to Michigan. Of course, it's not set in stone that he is, but most likely he is going to Michigan. Michigan is one of my favorite college football programs, so hopefully he can turn that program around. But it sucks that the Niners, you know, are basically starting over. You know what I mean? We have a quarterback question marks. Carlos Hyde, even though I love him, he has some question marks if he can really be that every down back like a Frank Gore. Can replace a guy like Frank Gore who's still balling, you know, even though he's, what, 31 years old. Only the 20th running back in NFL history to rush for over 1,100 yards, so big ups to him. But it's a sad season. We're going to finish this year 8-8. It should have been a lot better, but hey, man. Love Jim Harbaugh for what he did. I'm sad to see him go. And that's going to wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm your boy, Miles Dawkins, 24/7. And I hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day. Peace. Hot sauce.